Om. In this video, I want to talk about the number 18. Today is the 18th day, and it's a really good time to make this video. I just realized the setting is really interesting. I had a really busy day. My routine was broken up, what I normally do, and so my intention is to be making the videos every day, and it just so happens that it wasn't until nighttime that I was able to make the video. There's actually a little story behind that as well, but 18 is interesting because it's the number of shadow work, and here you see I'm in the dark with a little bit of a light here. This is interesting. So yes, 18, let's talk about it. 18, for those of you who were born on the 9th, 18th, 27th, I'm going to be talking a lot about the number 9 in this video. Also people who have number 1 energy, and also people who have number 8 energy. I'm going to be covering a lot of about all those numbers, all wrapped into this number 18. So 18 is sometimes called the number of the warrior. It's very important to note that 18 is, and 9 in general, is more of the mental warrior. That's where they're supposed to be at. So let's break the number down. 18. The number is being driven by the number 8. This is the internal pressure. This is the unconscious of a number. This is the bottom of it, of the psyche. So in short, the number 18 is all about bringing integrity into the ego, right? Integrity into the identity, integrating all this shadow, which is 8 here, all this karma, into the 1, which is the memory, the identity, the conscious awareness, the 1 here being the identity. And the effect here is creating a 9, which is a completion, which is an integration, because 9 represents the effect after integration happens at the highest end of 9. So 9s in general are a number that usually, if you have 9 in a prominent area of your birth chart, especially in your year, you're going to have to probably grow up really fast. So 9s are an energy that wants to bring things to completion. They want to be very, very precise. They can be impatient. They just want to get it done. There are a warrior energy, so they may find themselves going through conflicts. Now, why is this going on with the 9? In the scheme of the whole sequence of numbers 1 through 9, 9 is the closer. So what 1 started, 9 brings it to a finish, and particularly in the development of consciousness, 9 has to go through all the final lessons, which are usually the toughest, to bring everything to the close. This is why 9 is a mental warrior, because this is a shadow work number where they have to integrate all that has been suppressed up until this point. In order to get to that next level, you have to integrate that. So we are in the time of making this video, we're also in a 9 year. So a lot of people are having a lot of stuff bubble up to the surface that they have to deal with in order to get to the next level, which is the 1 year that's coming next. So 9 therefore has to have a lot of toughness. They have to be very, very mature. They have to grow up, because this is what the 9 energy is about. There's also some other stuff about 9s that I could throw in here and pepper in, like for example, 9s can be very, very adaptable. They have to be very, very careful about who they're hanging out with. And because 9 needs a purpose, 9 needs a 1. Think of it in the context of the archetypes. 1's the king, 9's the general. The general follows order. It carries out the king's wishes, because 9s are the doers. They're the action takers. And I'll share some action success codes with number 9 later on in this video. But 9, if they are grown up around of authority, where people that they consider to be authority figures are doing drugs, they'll do drugs. If they're considered authority figures are doing this, they'll do that. So 9s have to be very, very careful, because if you look at the number 9, if you add 9 to any, or you multiply any number by 9, it always becomes back unto itself, isn't it? So do it with, and if you add 9 to any number, it will always come back into the original number. So 9 just becomes, it is octavizes whatever it's with. In the case of single digit numbers, 9 adds an ego or an identity to each one of the numbers. 9 plus 1 is a 10. That means the 10 is the ones on the outer digit. 9 all the way through 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. Okay, without going too much into the nerd stuff, that's more for the numerologist nerds out there, the people who love studying numbers. Let's talk more about the 18. So 18 is being pushed to have integrity. So this is a number, very, very important, that you want to make sure you're being aware of what kind of karma you're doing. This number is about awareness of cause and effect, number 1. 8 is definitely that number that will make you aware of cause and effect one way or another. And so if you try to ignore it, what 8 will do is it will loop back the bad deeds to you faster. So this is a very, very important thing with 18-9. If they do bad karma, or they do things that are against universal principle, which they're supposed to be working with, they will have a lot of conflicts, a lot of battles they have to go through. They'll attract a lot of problems they have to fight against, like they're fighting against the grain. What 18 is asking you to do, if you look at the 18 card in tarot, it's the moon card. If you look at the moon card, you have all these different, the crayfish, the wolf, and all these different versions, because it's representing within the human DNA, we have all this animal instincts as well, buried deep down. And so we are not, the 18-9 is asking to bring this, it's like the psychology. So the moon here represents the psyche. It's kind of like the number of Scorpio, and if you want to look at it as looking at it relative to the signs in Vedic astrology. It's a number that is calling you to really go deep down and bring out all the shadow and integrate it into your identity. Taking action and initiating integrity. Because 8's the number of integrity. 8 is all about bringing you into integrity, because it's through integrity you get real power. Power comes from real integrity. When your whole identity, your consciousness is bulletproof. There's no gray areas. There's no darkness. There's nothing hidden from you. You have this, how you think and how you feel and how your body is all lined up. There's no fighting against the grain where your body, your mind, or parts of you are kind of working against you, so to speak. That's why 18-9 needs to be a warrior, because they have to go through these tough lessons. So 18-9 really, if you look at it in the tarot, because tarot is really interesting to study, because you can learn a lot about the numbers by studying tarot. Look at the card that comes after the 18. That's the 19. The 19, the card of the sun. If you look at the card of the sun, it's this innocent, naked boy or child riding on a white horse with sunflowers and the sun looking at it. The sunflowers are leaning into this boy. So it's showing this, the birth of the divine identity, which is this innocence, the white horse, the naked baby. Pure innocence, carrying the flag of the sun, the divine identity. That is what the 18 is trying to bring you to. That is what's waiting on the other side of the 18. A divine identity, bringing this pure divine identity. And now, when I say divine identity, this means physical divine identity. It doesn't mean you're transcending, you're leaving and going off. This is really about being here. That's what the 18 is about. So this is the general theme of the 18. So if you have this is going to show a number where you're going to have to apply yourself, because these lessons are typically not very easy, because shadow work requires you to face things that you normally would just find a way to distract yourself like this. That's what it's all about. So some tips for the 18. Well, let's talk about a basic tip for number 9. Number 9, a success code for number 9 is they can calibrate themselves, get into a flow, get into a rhythm, and get onto the right path just by taking action. 18 is showing you that in order to really balance this relationship, you need to move, you need to take action. You need to follow your instincts and act. Taking action with your instincts is very, very important for this 18-9. Instincts is really helpful in this number is meditation, because the 9 at the highest level, you look at the number 9, it's energy spiraling up, where 6 is spiraling down. So 6 is very, very grounded earth energy. 9 is very, very much more potential for higher consciousness. What the 9 is supposed to represent, is after this integrity is developed, the 9 is really the opening of the higher consciousness, particularly the pineal gland. This is what 9 is showing. So 9, if you look at the 9, it's got that circle, the center in the circle. It's supposed to operate from that level of higher consciousness and get its direction from the present moment. This void inside of them, they can access that, and they can have instincts, because if you look at the midbrain, the reptilian part of the brain, this is the instinctual part of the brain. So 9s are supposed to operate with instinct, but they have to act, they have to take action. I mentioned about 9 has to be very careful about who they're hanging around with. So getting around people who are high quality, who represent the ideal, the ideal, idea one, ideal. So they want to be around people that have good energy, good intentions, good vision, good outlook on life. This is good one energy. They want to have good one energy. Very, very important. The authority figures the 9 associates himself with. Okay, so with this, obviously, with shadow work, meditation is be very, very helpful, because subtilizing your mind and allowing space for this information to come. If it's too much chaos up here, it's much more difficult for your consciousness, the unconscious, to kind of inform you and percolate up, and for you to be able to process it. So it would be really, really good for you to have adopt some sort of meditation practice, and also some physical activity like sports, working out, something to get that fire out. 18-9 is a number that can bring about anger. Anger is not bad. Anger is just fire that you have to channel. So rather than sit there and be angry, go and find something to do. Go work out, exercise, take action on something. Follow something with a really good purpose. That's what 9s are supposed to do. Follow something with a really good purpose. Act on something with a good purpose. Okay. I didn't know what I was going to say before this video. I thought I was going to talk more about 8s and 1s and 9s, but this is really what is the theme and what's very, very important to share about 18 at this time. I hope you found this video useful. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or feedback, leave a comment underneath this video. If you'd like to get a reading with me, leave a comment underneath this video. It has some really, really interesting stories. I should probably start sharing about that as well, about some recent readings, maybe in another video. If you found this video helpful, give it a like. If you want to be notified of future videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button. As it's been a long day. As always, wishing the best. God bless. Until next time.